maybe the more you define yourself, maybe the more you put identity on yourself, it's the closer you get to losing yourself. I feel as though when I try to tell myself who I am, and I try to mold and shape this character for what I think will be enough for the world, I stop myself from being everything that I really am, and I stop myself from getting close to who I should be. I feel as though it's like trying to stop nature. You know, you're walking in this life, and everything in this life is so perfect. The wind and the trees blow, and you can't stop nature. You can't stop how nature works. You can't stop anything about nature because it's perfect and made perfect the way it is. You know, I'd like to be perfect in every single way, shape, and form that you possibly can be in life, right? And I don't think I'm alone in this, and I think that everybody else deals with this, where maybe they make a mistake, maybe they see their defects coming out in a relationship, and then they try to push this narrative of perfection. Oh, no. I didn't do that. I didn't mean to do that. Oh, no. You know? When that's who you are. You know, the stages of a relationship in the beginning where you're just blah, 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 it's not really real. I mean, it's real enough. You're getting to know somebody, but you're not really getting to know the parts that you don't want to know. You know, and those are the parts that you're going to say, okay, is this something that I want to be a part of? You know? But even past relationships, walking in life on the path towards your dreams and your aspirations and who you want to be, you have to let yourself be the truest form of you. Because if you're not being the truest form of you, and you believe, oh, I'm worried about how these people look at me, oh, I'm worried about it has to look like this, I have to be this type of person, I have to be this and that and this and this and that, you're limiting the creation of life, the creation of what you want to make, whatever you want to be. The sculpture of that you're trying to paint, the picture you're trying to paint is now being changed to perfection, when in life, art isn't perfection. You know, life is almost like art. Life is almost like imperfect picture painted perfect. Like, everything in life is completely imperfect. It's not corrected. Like, nothing about anything is perfect the way it is. It's messed up in its own way, and it's beautiful in that way because it's so messed up in that way. You know, when I look at the trees, when I look at the anything, like I compare it to anything in life that's God made. It's perfectly made in the image of God, you know? And for me to go, and obviously we evolve and we change over time, even through the seasons. You see trees lose their leaves, you know what I'm saying? But the tree stays there. You know, there's a tree, but it lost its leaves. And then it grows more leaves, and it changes colors, and it adapts. You know, even animals, they're at their core a certain type of animal, where it's a predator or it's not. And in the different seasons, it changes, it adapts. So just like us, you know, we are who we are at our core, but we can change, we can adapt, we can move forward, we can excel in different ways than we never thought we could excel. We could face fears that we never thought we could ever face. And surprisingly, they're not as bad as we thought they were. You know, one thing I learned about fear is literally the definition. I feel like if you want to dive into what something truly is and what something truly means, you have to go live in it. You have to go and dive and go head first. Like in fear, I had to dive and go head first. I had to face my biggest fears of trying to find freedom, trying to find a new life, trying to step out of my comfort zone. And then when I stepped out and I said, okay, that first step didn't feel too bad. The second step didn't feel too bad. Third step didn't feel too okay. I could just walk in this this fear that I so quote unquote made so big in my mind. You know, and that's the definition of fears. False evidence appearing real. You know, I can't live my life out of a state of false evidence appearing real. I can't. I'd love to. I think I'd love to. I think as humans, our first instinct is like, yeah, I mean, why not? Yeah, like it's much easier to never jump. It's much easier to just watch. It's much easier to just stand by and just let shit happen. But in reality, it's not the easier way. It's actually the harder way. Because this thing that you're naturally destined to do, this thing that you're naturally supposed to be, you're now not being it because you totally feel as though you can't be imperfect in that way, to go fail, to go deal with every emotion that comes with it, to go do this. For example, with this channel, I never felt so free in my life talking on the camera and then posting something, because nobody knows about this channel. Nobody knows. Nobody knows that I'm posting these videos except maybe my mother, right? Or my father, right? Or something like that, right? But nobody knows. I have no reason to be anything but myself because I'm judged by nobody that knows me. And it's maybe a crazy thing that I had to do that to start this, but that was what I had to do. I feel like I didn't want judgment from other people. I didn't need the whole world watching me. I didn't need these people that think they know me to know this part of me. And maybe one day they will, but they don't need to. I don't have to give that to them. This is mine. This is mine. This is what I'm gonna carry, and I'm sharing it with the world. But I don't feel as though I need to share this with them. You know, like I don't need to share a person that I'm not. I don't need. I don't know how to describe this. I don't need to share I don't need their perception of me changing who I am in life. Because oftentimes people's perception of us changes how we want to live our lives. And I hate that that's the case. Like, I don't really care what somebody else thinks, but when I know they're not watching, when I know I'm not doing it for them, when I know I'm doing it for myself, and I feel like that was the reason why I had to do that, because I was like, I'm doing this for me. This is my mission. This is my journey. This is my channel. This is what I want to do for me, and this is for me. This isn't for anybody else. And once I made it, before, when I started all the other things when I started the vlogs, when I was doing the vlogs, even in the vlogs, I was trying to be the shell of a person where I was cool to the world. And to some of those people, they believed this person, and they bought into it. They thought, oh, this person's, he's spending money. It's not who I am. The money isn't a personality, but that was who I appeared to be. And that's who I wanted to portray to the world, that I was this person. And portraying to the world that I was this person really brought me nothing. It brought me things I didn't want. It brought me attention I didn't want to have. It brought eyes that I didn't want to have see me, or see me in a certain light. Because, this world is evil in every way, shape, and form. Like how I just said, there's fear. Like there's this fear that people live in, and there's this fear that people that wish they could walk and wish they could do have in their mind, which now that fear that they have in their mind turns to hatred towards you because you're walking. Whether you're walking in the truth or whether you're walking in a lie, they're scared. They're annoyed because you're walking. they're like, why is he walking like that? Why is he walking with the confidence they have? And then this evil eye thing starts to come, and even if they don't say that they hate you, even though they're not showing signs that they hate you, they subconsciously hate you. They subconsciously hate that you're able to try to be, even not even yourself, somebody. That you're trying to be somebody that isn't you, or is you, or it doesn't matter. You're just trying. And that's like the worst thing for them, because they can't even step out their comfort zone to try. They can't even step out of fear to try, you know? And yeah. It's a crazy world that we live in, and it's a crazy thing that we have as humans, because I feel like humans can't live without human connection. Like we all fiend for human connection. I can't live my life, as much as I'd love to say I could be alone for my whole life. Like, I'd be fine by myself. I love being actually alone. I love chilling alone. I love spending time alone. But the thing I crave in life is human connection. Human connection is the root of all everything, all evil, all anything. It's human connection, wanting to be loved. Because what are we living for? What are we living for? Like, other than God and ourselves? Like, what are we living for? We're living to connect with others. We're living to build on ourselves, but connect with others in this life. Like, for me, these videos, I'm not going to say that they're not for me, because I enjoy making them. I enjoy talking to the camera. I enjoy speaking my mind, and it's therapeutic to me. And I even watch back the video, and I get inspired by the things I say, because I can forget the things that I say and the inspiration that I put out into the world, or the inspiration I put out towards myself. But, you know, the biggest joys that I've ever had in life is when I help somebody else. Is when I was there for somebody else when they couldn't be there for themselves. When I was there for somebody else to tell them that they were somebody that they didn't even realize they were. You know, because I've been in that position so many times where I'm thinking in my mind that I'm a person, and I'm thinking like, I can't. I'm just not good enough. I'm just not. The whole time, God is telling me in my mind, in the back of my mind maybe, that I am worth something. I am supposed to do something. Like, I am destined for something. And as much as you try to get away from it, this, that, and this, like, it's the truth. That's the truth. That's the truth of everything. Yeah. I'm worth more than I can imagine. I'm somebody that I can't even imagine that I am. You know, and like life has been, I don't even know if I'm making any sense, but the essence of life and the goal of life is not about you. Like, it never ends on you. Even when I think of like a woman's purpose in life, a man's purpose in life, a woman's purpose in life is to reproduce. A man's purpose in life is to take care of a family. You know, and be the best man that you possibly can to take care of a family, and to provide, and to this, and to do, and to that. You know, so life is not about us. Life is about how you could serve God. Life is about how you could serve your family. Life is about family. Life is about taking care of the ones you love, having loved ones, having people that you just can't live without. You know, I don't know if this makes sense, and it's not something that I'm even clear on yet, but all I know is that today I'm gonna be me, regardless of the judgment, regardless of the fear, regardless of the opposition, I'm gonna be me. I'm gonna be me unapologetically. All right, and that's loving yourself, knowing that you can be you and you is good enough, and I'm perfect the way that I am. You know, and I might be wrong, and when I have my wrongs, I say I'm wrong. But today, I'm not going to be anybody else but who I am.